right at the interchange, full speed. Oh yeah, okay, thank you. There's a ton of cops there. Riverside, Chantal, it's now Riverside. That's the pursuit there. We'll be on it here shortly.
This is on the freeway, but we bring in Rick Dickert, who has followed so many pursuits from Skyfox. Rick, as we're looking at this, real high speeds here.
Yeah, definitely. You can see with our extreme nav, 100 miles an hour. We just broke it there. A wide open 60 freeway.
There was talk that the driver may have tried to ram officers at one point during the chase. We're trying to confirm that. We just saw an item being tossed out the window. The driver just threw something out the window there. But again, the driver continuing 90. We're looking at 95 miles an hour right now.
84 miles an hour. Our extreme nav system there, covering it from Skyfox.
And Rick, it looks like he's got the window open. Something just came out from the window.
We saw that really tragic situation. Thankfully, it ended okay with the mother driving her young child in the trunk of her car or in the back seat of her car, driving at rates of speeds against traffic.
Hand in motion.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. A little waving. Perhaps that is getting into the mindset of this suspect for not pulling over, but
no, he wasn't. And there it is again. Yeah, so it looks like he's trying to wave on the officers, maybe even waving to us up here in the chopper, saying, "I'm not giving up. Let's keep this going."
It's very possible that there are other people in this vehicle. We just don't know yet.
And I just referenced the pursuit that we all covered, Alex. You remember, and we said it both at the same time. There's a child. We didn't know that. We just thought it was a sole suspect being pursued.
Yeah, both hands out the window now. So, no. And you see how he's drifting there. So he might be trying to drive with his leg, his knee, maybe steering it across lanes there side to side. So he might be trying to do a little fancy driving there. But at these speeds, you don't want to take any chance. We're looking at 95 miles an hour.
We've been joined so many times during these pursuits by Dennis Zine, who's a police specialist, and it's been on the city council. And when you look at the behavior of this suspect, you get the sense that he probably has interacted with law enforcement at some point in his career and may be on a bit of a joyride right now in the process as he exits the freeway, Rick.
And exiting the freeway, 60 freeway westbound, now in LA County, in the Diamond Bar area. I saw Diamond Bar Boulevard on one of the ramps there.
I think this might even take him all the way up to the 10 if that's the case. We'll see what happens here. He's going to make a left turn, maybe a U-turn. He's going to make a U-turn, maybe back towards the 60 freeway. So here he goes, U-turn.
And it appears that this driver is not going to get back on the 60. There it is. That's the 60 overpass there. And let's see if they choose to try to
go the other way.
Back on. There you go. 60 freeway. Now back eastbound on the 60.
Yeah,
opposite direction.
Well, no,
which
hit
will
that traffic.
This pursuit.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Because that accident at Central, it was on the. There it is. There's the traffic right there.
Yeah.
That's the backup. The California Highway Patrol reporting an incident at Central Avenue.
The problem with this pursuit is they really can't go into a tracking mode. I mean, they can do it if they wanted to, but being that the driver's armed, and look at that move all the way over, all the way across. So they're likely not going to pull off this chase and leave it to the airship. They're going to stay on this for the duration.
We just got some new information from our desk, which confirms, I think, some of what we were just saying. So the want is this is a possible murder suspect. This is not some minor traffic accident or traffic incident. This is the most serious of potential suspects, which is why you see such an aggressiveness by law enforcement.
I'm back with you guys. It looks like he has exited right at the 71, I believe this is. We are looking at an exit here, and he's going to go north, it looks like. He's going to come back underneath the freeway. And we'll see here in a second if he's going to go back the other way. This, I believe, is Gary Avenue, northbound Gary from the 60 freeway. And he's going to go past the options here for the freeway. So he's going to stay on Gary.
Picking up speeds, and again, look at the volume. Look at the other volume of traffic and how it's moving. Making a hard right turn there onto Holt Avenue.
Very dangerous. A lot of traffic on Holt right now. Wrong side of the road around that red car. So dangerous. Unbelievable.
What kind of mindset are they in? And clearly this person is agitated and clearly does not have a very high opinion of law enforcement based off the gestures that he's making so far.
Nearly missed that car. That vehicle in itself is considered a deadly weapon. And when suspects use their cars to ram police cars or to push into people, that is an aggressive move.
Started in the Temecula area. It was Temecula, yeah. Here's a northbound turn on Lorraine.
Those units are still behind him.
So, Rick, also, and Alex, we don't know how much law enforcement knows about this driver.
Right.
And if there might be anybody else inside the truck there. Whoa,
Stopping.
Stopping.
Sort of, not really.
Stopping a little bit, but then, he's...
Gauging traffic, perhaps?
Erraticness. Yeah, just
something
erratic.
just came out of the
Something else
car.
out. That went high.
What was that?
That was a high throw. Unclear of what that was. And we don't know if it's evidence. We don't know if it's him just gesturing and doing whatever he can to sort of distract the situation.
We'll see what happens. But the 10, again, about a mile, 3/4 of a mile. But no, he goes into a neighborhood once again. And he's going to go into this neighborhood. It looks kind of quiet in there. He's going to make a right turn. He's going to head back towards Holt again. No, he's going to go into this neighborhood. So this might be an area the driver knows.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
That was our best look so far.
Up on the curb, now into it looks like just in an alley. This is a really narrow alley.
The human nature is we want to see, this is in my neighborhood, let's see what happens here.
Wrong side of the road. Look at that. Oh man, that gray car, that truck's turning. Oh, and they caused that accident right there. That truck saw the guy coming, tried to get out of the way, and the other car swerved into that truck. So fortunately, they were going slow enough that it didn't look like they were going to be injured too much.
And it's just one of those situations. When is it going to come to a point where running through a red light and he's going to have opposing traffic or he comes upon somebody, as we've seen so many times, and he makes impact with those people because he is doing whatever he can. And if he is indeed, because again, we're hearing an alleged murder suspect, he's doing whatever he can to get away from police.
Left turn. So he did not choose to get on the freeway there.
Still wondering how much law enforcement knows about this driver. If they're saying a murder suspect, do they know who this driver is?
They just threw something out the window on the passenger side.
Northbound.
east are overhead, calling out the pursuit to those officers and those deputies on the ground so that they know where the suspect is at all times. They are also dispatching traffic conditions so that those deputies and officers are aware of that. The suspect's going to have to make a decision there if they're going to go east or west, or if they're going to turn around and go back into Pomona proper. But it looks like we're going to be turning left onto Briar Croft.
You have Town Avenue, which runs north-south, and it runs from the 60 up to the 10, up to the 210 freeway. So there were options.
The one on this from the California Highway Patrol, they're saying is a person wanted for murder and assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. He's going to go westbound.
Now we're tracking it in the Laverne, Pomona area, now making its way into Laverne. A majority of our time during the 6 o'clock hour has been in the Pomona area. Now southbound Town Center Drive from Foothill Boulevard.
It's been a dangerous pursuit with the driver kind of weaving in and out of traffic on the freeway, and now kind of maneuvering through these surface streets, kind of staying in the Pomona area. It started in a Riverside area, so not where it originally started.
People just try to get home. They're not expecting this level of speed as we make our way through a neighborhood, and now it looks like we're slowing down a little bit, going to be going down an alley.
Narrow alley. Look at that.
Those are two things, Rick. If you want to say two things that will get law enforcement riled up and get the attention of law enforcement, it is one, to be a murder suspect, and two, to then try to attack a sheriff's deputy as well.
Is that in addition to the murder suspect, the murder one?
We believe it is in addition to.
Murder is definitely one of those wants that would require extra deputies to be involved just due to the dangerous possible nature of the suspect. Now we are southbound on E as in Edward Street from a valley. Here in Laverne still now going back to the east in another alley. They want to keep the public safe, and sometimes that means backing off and letting the air unit do the handle. But you just see the suspect pulling out in front of that white sedan there. Very dangerous situations, and we just are waiting to see.
He may not
White and Bonita, again, still in the Pomona area. And those are the turns right there that are so dangerous. Coming out of an alley.
On and off of the brakes, jumping through intersections like that. It looks like we just lost a wheel or a tire. We saw that something break there through that dip there. These vehicles aren't made for that, and you can lose brakes, you can lose calipers, you can lose all sorts of things, even wheels as that happens. But it looks like we still have both those tires and wheels on that driver's side, and the suspect's still going at extremely high rates of speed.
It's even hard for us, even with our extreme nav, to keep track of the exact location. But this is a really dangerous situation, and again, not a good situation to try that pursuit intervention technique in terms of that pit maneuver, trying to spin that vehicle out. It's a heavy-duty vehicle, and there's a lot going on likely in this residential area.
Continuing straight, and now we're going to be making that right-hand turn onto this more major here through this neighborhood, weaving through this traffic, coming up on that SUV that pulled over to the side. Very, very dangerous driving through this neighborhood, a neighborhood that does have pedestrians out, you see just like right there, and they are not expecting this racing through their neighborhood right now, cutting corners.
It appears that window, that driver's side window, if I'm not mistaken, Alex and Christine, has been rolled down pretty much the entire duration of this pursuit. Why do they run? Because they want to get out of the way of police and try just by that slim chance to get away into a gas station.
Get gas.
Does this come to an end right here?
Is this
oh my
or
God.
no? Is that a drive-through, or is he using this to turn?
I couldn't tell if that was a drive-through or a gas station, but just use that as a little cut-through. The 210 is the farthest east-west freeway to the north of Foothill. Route 66, as we all know it here in Southern California. And off to the right there, slowing down.
Whoa.
So
thankfully,
close.
no collision there.
Yeah.
Eastbound on, well, I believe it's Grove here. He's going to make a, well, nope, he's not going to make a right. Yes, he is. He's going to go down the wrong way on the street. He's going southbound on the northbound lanes of town. Made a turn, a right turn into the turn pocket, a right turn pocket, no less. Right down the center divider, wrong side of the road again. Added a signal coming up here. That's Arrow. He's going to make a right-hand turn onto Arrow. You see the units there.
Taking another random right, and he's now going, I think that's going to be, it's going to be westbound on Arrow Highway.
Westbound Arrow coming up on Gary. We got the intersection there. He's got nowhere to go. He goes right through there. Fortunately, that car turned. Now he's going to go wrong actually back the other direction, eastbound.
This suspect is, as we can tell, not looking like they're going to be giving up by any means anytime soon.
The driver wanted for a murder and assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer.
Every second this pursuit goes on, there is the opportunity for somebody, some innocent person, a pedestrian, a bicyclist. That's a great shot there. You can see that against traffic there to be hurt. And you can see, what is this guy? Oh no, that's a unit.
Right-hand turn, going to go eastbound, Arrow Highway.
Very, very dangerous situations. And the thing we don't talk about right now very often is those dispatchers. And you see people out on the street corner finding as much info on the suspect as they can. Are they familiar with this area? Is this where they come from? There's all sorts of things that those dispatchers are doing. And they're very, very helpful in this situation where you're seeing interagency communication and assistance now into a parking lot. This parking lot almost looks like it doesn't have a back end, but it did. I'm sorry, I just didn't notice. But you see that sheriff's truck there ready to take over the pursuit, but that Pomona unit still primary.
One benefit to law enforcement now is that because the suspect is choosing to stay against traffic through the rail system there, that's the Metrolink rails that run east and west coming out of the IE into LA County there. What they're able to do now, because the suspect is choosing to stay in a general vicinity in this area off the
traffic, wrong way and traffic.
Wow.
Multiple agencies involved, still wrong way, and all we're hoping right now is the suspect gets right on the correct side of the road to put the public back into a more safer terms. But it doesn't look like we're doing that, and now we are here now going to the west.
We know that there's at least 2 people in that truck. We don't know if there are more. We know at least one of them is wanted for murder. We know that at least one of them assaulted an officer. Now this guy, again, throwing his hand out the window, taunting the law enforcement behind him as he drives through traffic. Now up onto the sidewalk.
Up on the sidewalk. On the sidewalk, 60 miles an hour. That's Foothill Boulevard. That's a 60.
You wonder about that car
that is Route 66.
U-turn.
Of agencies, but mainly Riverside County Sheriff's Office in pursuit here with the assistance, it looks like, of Pomona PD. We also have a Riverside County helicopter overhead and a Riverside County helicopter, and I think we still have a CHP fixed-wing aircraft following from up above as well. Yes, 2 aircraft following this pursuit, and you can see he is continuing to make some random turns.
It's going to go eastbound there and along the tracks.
Still staying in the same general vicinity here, and think there's more people. There you go.
Yeah,
recording
people
right on
there.
the border. The one thing,
On the sidewalk, yeah.
very quickly, Alex and Christine, the one thing that is good about the situation is that this alleged murder suspect and a suspect who may have had an incident with a sheriff deputy, that they're staying in the same neighborhood.
More items out the window, but the speeds certainly have slowed down. It's an indication for sure that this driver is either toying with the officers or is low on fuel. More items being tossed out. Additional items coming out the passenger side.
We know of the driver and the passenger, and we just don't know if there's anybody else behind those tinted windows. A lot more paper or something coming out of the driver's side.
This driver has shown a tendency to run red lights at a very high rate of speed, endangering the public, so they can set up at those intersections, hold them back. They can set up a spike strip, as you said. They can do whatever they can to try to bring this to a safe ending. And now we're in a parking lot here. We'll see how this plays out. Unclear if this driver, this alleged murder suspect, has any plan at all, except trying to evade police.
Yeah, but again, staying in this Pomona area, which is so interesting, you do have to wonder how much gas is in that vehicle and how long they can go.
Okay,
passing.
whoa, look at that. The
Right,
law
gas.
enforcement
Look,
right
that-
there.
so you
Look
can
at
see
all
how
the
many-
swarm
That's a
of law
command
enforcement
post.
vehicles
I mean, look
there.
at how many officers are there.
Now we went from low speed to high speed, throwing stuff still out that driver window at those officers. This is not what you're expecting in an alleyway behind your home. Back out here to Reservoir Street going to the south, and this pursuit just continues on. Pomona Police Department in right behind.
Southbound turn, and then a westbound turn. So through this neighborhood.
Once the vehicle loses those tires, it becomes a lot harder on that engine, a lot more taxing on the engine, and a lot harder to maneuver for that suspect, and could.
Now on San Antonio Avenue, back on a busier street here, but as you mentioned, Christina and Alex, still staying in
Look
the
at these
same
people.
general area. Now
Where
we're
are these
parking lot.
people? Going into a
Yeah,
parking
and-
lot here. It looks like a grocery store parking lot
A mini
and a
mall,
strip
like,
mall.
type, yep.
People
Yep.
are there, people out for the night with their kids, people parking their vehicles, and then all of a sudden,
Same parking lot. He could have just continued to continue the pursuit, but instead he's intentionally. He is playing Russian roulette with everybody who is walking through this parking lot. It is absolutely a dangerous game of cat and mouse in a crowded shopping center parking lot, as he is not trying to cut through. Instead, he's trying to weave through the.
first unit, that canine unit there, that brought it right up against the bumper of the truck so it cannot back up. He was trying to back up, and here we got movement. It looks like the driver with maybe hands out the door or the window. So there is movement from the driver. We'll see if the driver comes out the window. No, here comes the door. It's opening up, and we will keep the wide shot here to see what happens. Driver coming out slowly as the door open.
He's not showing his hands as clearly as he should be, as is the individual in the red shirt on the passenger side.
Yeah.
Now he is. Okay, now he's getting out, and he's laying out. Looks like he's in red shorts there, crawling away from the vehicle. And looks like it looks like he may be injured. And it would be that left leg, because look at all that hard impact that was made on the left side of the vehicle there.
We see the hands out on the passenger side window there. So confirming what we're hearing on the police scanner, he's going to crawl his way over to officers. That's the driver there, and they're going to take that driver in custody. It looks like the driver may be injured in his leg. They're going to cover the other officers there and take him into custody. Here's the shot.
driver of the semi was able to move that vehicle forward to a more safe spot that would box in that vehicle, and then walk away from that truck over to safety of some other deputies. In all cases of pursuit crashes that we see, Mike and share, this one is definitely one that it was on the safer side, and now we are just in the waiting game of seeing that passenger open their door now, try to make their way out of the vehicle.